Yeah.
Cab, some Syrah in it. So I
I
think
like
you'll,
it.
and it's blended from about 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you'll taste it.
I like that. I like
And
that.
you had a chance to see it too. So
Okay.
you can get a little of the tannins. It sat in the barrel for a good while. So it's pretty
Okay.
cool.
I'm a red blend person. Like that's cabs, red blends.
I love it. But
I
I hope to
know.
get you on Chardonnay. Some white burgundy. Come on. I'm
I
gonna get
don't
it and
nah,
get it for you.
nah, not the Chardonnay. No, I shouldn't say that because I love wine, period. But I don't know. I, to me, Chardonnay is a little bit of a quiet taste. Like the reds, you kind of get used to eating with, your steak meals and stuff like that. So I've kind of gotten used to them. I fall in love with them. Um, so it just depends. But there's some good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. I've had some good Chardonnays. It's just I'm more of a red girl.
Well, then we'll keep you happy. We'll keep drinking a lot of reds
Yeah.
then.
Listen, I'll be open to the Chardonnays too. But yeah,
Mhm.
this glass brings back memories.
Yeah, a lot of good memories.
Yeah. So we're going live tonight. Just a few as people join in. Um, we're excited to continue conversations and things like that with you all.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of talk about relationships and stuff. So it'll be fun.
Man, because we're getting out of COVID, and I mean, it was long. Some people did last. It knocked a lot of cats out.
I think we're
Some are
stronger.
still standing. And I get why it knocks people out. I mean, you were like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that because that was a lot. That comedy show we went to, the lady was kind of mentioning it. She had some funny comedy about it.
She had a lot of jokes. She had a lot of jokes about people showing up and going and leaving, popping
Yeah.
back up.
And the legal field has been pretty busy after COVID due to a lot of people not still standing. But hey, that's life. Situations change and that's life. So, but well, do you want to get into it?
Might as well.
All right.
Hello and welcome to the Pontification Room.
Where we conversate, stimulate, and pontificate.
Well, my name is Chris,
My name is Kendra.
and we run a personal injury and civil litigation law firm. We handle car and truck accidents, and we also sue people. We'll sue anybody you need us to sue for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do
Uh,
all day.
so, so I'm the lawyer, and Kendra has been my paralegal for 15 years. We've had this law office, and at the same time we've had this law office for 15 years, we've been married for 15 years. And a lot of people love to ask us, how do you do it? How do you work all day in a stressful environment such as a law office and still have a healthy marriage? Because we're always on the go.
Yeah, we did it though. It's not easy. Nothing's easy, but we did it, and it's been fun. And we've learned a lot. Learned from our failures, and had major success, and we're still going, but it's not easy.
Well, it hasn't been easy, but definitely we have some very, very solid foundation, some real good building blocks that we've built our relationship on. And I certainly hope we can pass that on to people. It's very easy. It's not that hard or difficult to learn what we've done. And it's really easy to put into practice if you start at the beginning correctly. Uh, but I would say this: when I first met Kendra, I just passed the bar. I did not have the first client. Matter of fact, I met her 2 weeks after I got my letter that said I passed the bar and that I could practice the
Yeah, because when I gave him my number,
law.
finally that
You gonna
night.
make me take a sip of wine on
Yeah, you need to sip on
that.
that. When I gave him my number finally that night, when he called me, he was like, "Yeah, hey, how you doing? Thank you for giving me a number. I want to go out to get something to eat so I can get to know you." I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, and I said, "Man, you sound so excited, today." And he's like, I got my first job. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, oh my gosh, his first job. In my head, I'm thinking, girl, oh Lord, this ain't gonna work. This dude's 28 and just got his first job. And that's what I'm thinking. And then I kind of, you move the phone from your ear, like, oh, and then I put the phone back. I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations. What do you do? He's like, I'm a lawyer. I'm like, okay, good, good, good. We in there. We good. Like,
Yeah.
But at first I was a little concerned. So, he was excited because he had, just got his first job after passing the bar. So that
Yeah.
was pretty good.
I just started my career. I was highly confident. I was ready to go. And I was really excited that I met a wonderful young lady.
And I was a junior in college.
I didn't know it. I couldn't tell. She was very
I be
mature.
on my little elegant, classy,
She was very
so
classy.
I was, you really, I mean, he was 28 and I was, what was my first party?
Yeah.
So I met him actually at my first party, when I went out as far as being 21. So my first 21 and up party. And I met him.
I'm glad I
And
did because the next party that we went to together, she was like, "Where was this
I
at?"
know. And I want to say, wait, we got a shout out to Anne Marie.
Yes.
Because he went to law school in DC, and so he was a fan of Anne Marie. I was too, so we went there to see her, and
HU.
beautiful and great singer, and so that's how we met. If we wouldn't have never went to that, we would have never met. Also, what Adolph Shiver delivers, like
Always
the little
delivers.
saying, he's
I
like a Charlotte
always
promoter.
yes.
It was his party,
So
so shout
Adolph
out to him.
Scheider delivered this relationship. Certainly did.
Cheers to
Cheers to that.
I would have never met
I hope
him.
you're doing okay, Adolph.
So yeah, we met, and then our story just starts from there. We're going on our first date. I thought he was gonna be like this lame, quirky lawyer, right? Because I dated one before,
First dates are tricky.
and I was like, oh gosh, he's gonna be kind of dry, And I'm a girl that's about my business and real fun and everything like that. But I also have like a lot of personality, and I'm funny. And I was like, I don't know if this guy's gonna be boring and a drab, but we got to dinner and I was eating the lasagna, and I really didn't like it because it had one of those cheeses I don't like, and I know like
Ricotta.
mozzarella ricotta. And I was like, oh, and I didn't know, I didn't read the menu, didn't realize it came with that. And so I'm kind of eating it real slow. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take this back. And he looks at me, he was like, girl, you ain't gonna eat that shit. And I was like,
Nah, she wasn't.
oh, okay. And it kind of like turned me on a little bit because I really wasn't gonna eat it. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. In
So
my head, I was like, I like that.
So you have to be confident at all times.
Yeah.
I know that the way she was picking over that food, she was going to try to take it back to her dorm room and be nice about it, so it didn't look like she wasted a plate in front of me, which was very, very considerate. I will give you that. And I said that, let me just go ahead and tell him, you're not going to eat it. But I was letting her know that I appreciated her courtesy at the dinner table. So it was a beautiful thing. We started out at that moment, we opened the floodgates to truthfulness and honesty and just saying what was on our mind. We really didn't hide the second person that you usually meet or the real. I gave her the real me very, very early.
Yeah, but we were young. I would recommend to people, and these are going to be topics we talk about on our show. This is just an introductory to us right now, and just wanting you to get to know a little bit about us, our personalities, how get a feel of how our show is going to flow and vibe, the energy you're going to get from it, right?
Oh yeah, positive vibes. Yes,
positive vibes only. But we started young, and I would recommend. This is more so. I'm trying to help a lot of the younger generations. We have a daughter.
yes.
Shout out to her. She's 13, just turned 13. But our thing is we give her information to help mold her, and so that in this generation we got going on now, they can have successful relationships. And I would recommend you kind of start off young.
Yes.
If you can, and build and grow together. And that way you can kind of shape and form together,
You've got
because
to grow together.
if you're, kind of doing it a little bit older, then, it gets a little bit tougher because you're kind of setting your ways, and, you're like, oh, so that's the thing. You want to try to do it younger. And if you're getting in relationships and you're a little bit older, we recommend you go into it open, and that's, I feel like that's what a lot of people don't do now, because you're like, I don't have to put up with much. I got, women, there are a lot of women that are more independent, but you still got to go into it open so that you can come together and be partners in this thing called life. And so that's what our show is going to be talking about, how to navigate all of that.
And the beautiful part about the way we have envisioned this show to go in the later episodes is that we want to give a well-rounded answer to all of the things that we've heard on social media, the different YouTube channels. We believe that there's a lot of good information out there, but it doesn't tie it all together. They give you a lot of the frame, but they don't put the paint and the shingles on the house, so to speak, which means that if I've heard it. Usually you'll hear it from the man's point of view, or you'll hear it from the women's point of view, how they want men to be, how women want men to treat them. However, we have very rarely seen a couple such as ourselves on social media where we get to give you the full answer at the same time. So everybody can kind of understand, hey, this is how a woman in a great relationship would look at it. This is how a man would look at it in a great relationship, and how both people really function off of the good vibes in a relationship.
We
If
pretty
you can
much want
start
to
with
give
that.
you both perspectives.
Yes.
You know, like a lot of the shows I watch, there's either men just going and they're talking about women, vice versa. Women are just kind of talking about men.
Yep.
But we want to give you both perspectives because we really do think differently, right? Like there are things that men do. I don't understand some of the things they do. I never understood why the toilet seat, that's the biggest hole, but you can't seem to hit it. But you get everything else. Everything else is right. So I mean, I'll never understand it, right? But that's men. So we're doing this show to give you both perspectives.
And I'll say this from the other man's side, she put a basket in the bathroom. But I don't understand why I can't leave my clothes on top of the basket. I just want to leave my clothes on top of the basket, but she wants it in the basket. See, this is just different.
It's a basket. Why you don't want to put it in the basket?
Sometimes I just need to access it real quick.
You never access it.
But eventually I put it in the basket so that everything is kosher and smoothed out. Everything
After
just
it
comes
piles up and he realizes that this is piled up, my wife is probably going to say something because I'm not using the basket. I'm using the outside of the basket.
So you got to learn how to head things off in the past, because
Yeah.
everything is not going to be perfect every day.
It's not. It's a give and take in marriage. It
It
really
really is.
is. Yeah.
And it's more easy going when you know what the other person's expectations are. And I try to meet her expectations. And I trust, and I have been trusting for 15 years that she meets my expectations. And she's come to be able to rely on what I do for her, and vice versa. And that's very, very give and take.
And
I
we're
will say that.
also here to kind of help people in the what do you call it? The manosphere now
Oh
thing
yeah.
that's going on, right? Y'all are talking a lot in the manosphere. I mean,
And feminism.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's kind of been here for a minute. But this thing y'all on now, y'all men, you got your opinions, and I guess you
This
like,
alpha and beta conversation
yeah,
too.
y'all are speaking out about relationships and women and your point of view. And um, I was like, I gotta be a part of this. We need to get both perspectives on here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying some of the things that aren't in the manosphere aren't true.
There are facts being said in the
There are
manosphere.
facts and gems being given. So
That's
women,
correct.
y'all listen up. But because I grew up with brothers. I was the only girl, so they were real honest with me. And one thing I've always lived by is you rather be a lady than a baby. Y'all catch that? Okay. Did that fly over your head? Say it with me. Rather be a lady than a maybe. So you got two choices as a woman. And I wasn't trying to be nobody. Maybe I'll call her. Maybe I'll hit her up. Maybe I'll marry her. Maybe that ain't an option, bro.
Mm-mm.
We good on that. So, you know,
Shout out to her brother, because
the
she was perfect when I met her.
nobody's perfect. Let's just say I was groomed well and ready to go. Let's just put it like that. But I listened. Men's point of view can be real harsh.
It is harsh at times.
And you want to take it in. I mean, they're not women, so things they tell you, I can see in the manosphere. You guys talk pretty strong. Like I guess Kevin Samuels and all these other people. People are like, he's so rude and da da da. So we're gonna talk about all that because sometimes coming from a man, it can be real harsh, but
At
it's
this,
actually information that can help you too.
and at the same time, we're going to talk harshly toward the men, because you do have to step up to the plate.
That is true.
Um, there are a lot of things that women need and want, and you've got to be able to provide it. And you cannot sit back and try to lower the bar. As a human race, we're trying to progress and grow and improve and get better and better. And you can't do that if you lower the bar and you don't have to exceed expectations. So I think that once we start speaking about what it takes to be a man, what it takes to, when you are a man, to satisfy and make sure your woman is happy or be able to attract women, then you'll see that more and more as you grow, a whole lot of women will be attracted to you. And you can also take care of the woman that you fall in love with.
Yeah. So what is our first topic going to be for them when they tune in next time?
I don't know,
We don't
but I
know.
think it's really
You
going to be
guys
about
email
stepping
us
up
some
to the plate.
email us some suggestions. We got a lot that we already know we're going to go over, but we're just trying to figure out that first one we're going to bring to you. And it's going to be raw and uncut. We're not holding back.
Right.
So email us what you would like to know, what perspectives, now that you have a couple that can really speak to you from both sides, the man and the woman, uh, point of view, then email us and let us know what what you want to hear about.
Yeah, because at the same time, when you get a perspective from us, it'll be from my point of view as being a married man and my wife's point of view from being a married woman. Also, you don't have to be married just to speak to us. We go out a whole lot. In certain respects, I
Drink
believe
wine a whole lot.
we're still
Okay.
dating. We're still drinking a lot of wine. We still try to stay in fashion,
Never stop
in
dating.
style.
That's the thing, man. Never stop.
We never stop.
Never
We're
stop.
still in the club. We still sitting
I
beside the DJ booth.
we still smile at each other. I'm still backing it up.
That's
And
right.
he's still watching it. And we still going.
And you wouldn't believe it, but she can dance really good. I
I
won't say how
know,
good.
don't put me out there, but Megan Thee Stallion ain't got no kid. But
their knees.
these do. But
But
yeah.
she's great, and I'm happy. And by going out and staying fresh or staying up to date really does help my wife stay attracted to me. My wife's style, I certainly remain attracted to her.
Wow, you looking real nice tonight.
You look good too. You look good too. So there are, and that's what it takes in relationships.
You want to roll somewhere after this? Oh, maybe. Okay.
We're going out as soon as this video ends. we got somewhere to go. So there's always somewhere to go out. We go out 7 days a week if we want to. So I mean, it is a lot of fun inside of a relationship. We don't feel locked down. We don't feel tied down
But
in one way.
that's because we
way,
make
shape,
it
or
like
form.
that. So that's why we want to share this information with. A relationship is what you make it. You
Right.
get up every day. You got 24 hours in a day. We already know everybody. We all got the same responsibilities, right? We're working,
Right.
Taking care of kids,
Right.
Helping family and friends in any way we can. People might get up. People might need something from me, whether that's family or foe. And that's it. And trying to make time to protect your peace and energy for yourself, so that's
Exactly.
working out, your health. But we're all, when we wake up in the 24 hours, no matter which one of those we're working on, we're all moving towards the same goal. So the question is, how do you maneuver that and balance that? And I think sometimes, like I was saying, when you watch a lot of these reality shows and things like that, there's so much negativity in
Yeah.
relationships and
Arguing
divorce,
and fighting.
and they weren't really balanced, and they didn't even realize that they weren't balanced, or they realized it too late. And so we're here to kind of show you some of the signs, talk to you about some, not show you because I'm nowhere here working on mine, so I can't show you, but I can tell you how not to experience that. But I was always one of those people where I wanted to know how somebody avoided something. I'm not the person, when you were in school and people would come and speak to you at your school.
Yeah.
And it would always be what is it called? Like, it was like, what's that drug addiction thing?
Oh, Dare?
It would always be the person coming to tell you how they were on drugs and how they overcame it. And
that person,
so
they already were on drugs.
So I used to walk out like, okay, you brought me, and they do it every year, like four speakers or something. I'm like, all right, four
People
times.
still do it now.
Yeah. And we're like, we get it. You were on it. We get it. You overcame it. But bring us somebody in here that says, how do you avoid that? What situations do you not put yourself in to not do that? How did you avoid it? What temptations did you endure or overcome? And he's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do that. And we're going to talk to you about that, because infidelity is a big thing in relationships. Right. So y'all might want to ask Chris, like, when that girl's standing over there looking good and
dancing in front of me,
as they do, and how are you good? How do you,
because
what are you thinking? How do you avoid that?
To go back on your point, when you listen to somebody who's already been on drugs and now they're building their life back, you want to know, what would they have been if they didn't have to start in the negative? Everyone starts at zero, and you can build as high as you want. But let's say you get on drugs and that takes you back to negative numbers. And then you've got to use 15 points just to climb out of the hole. So now you're at, 8 when you could have been all the way at 15, and you grow from there. You don't have to use all that time to keep building yourself back up if you never fall behind, so to speak. So we really want to speak to people on that and make sure that they're always moving forward. You don't have to rebuild it back or use time to grow past where you want to be, and get to where you want to go. And as far as people dancing in front of me and stuff like that, yep, that happens. But how do I remain, solid in this relationship? Well,
Faithful.
faithful. Well, I have a large, you know, thing about being loyal to Kendra. And that loyalty is built on the confidence and trust that she and I give to each other. Notice I didn't use the word love. Love is a given when you add up the loyalty and the trust. And we have built that solid foundation. And do we love each other? Yes. Do I use that word a lot to I do tell her I love her. Don't get it twisted. But if we were trying to explain our relationship to someone else, we tell people, are you loyal to the person? Do you trust them? And if you can say yes to those two questions, then you can really build a very healthy relationship. From that point on, you can then work on the other little, side attractions that pop up. Do I walk in the house? Am I attracted to you? Am I, did I brush my hair down today? Did she comb her hair down today? Did she put on a little
Did I
makeup?
take that bonnet off?
All right. Did
Yes,
I
I
did,
really
did I
was.
brush my teeth? Did I put some new drawers on today? Am I attractive to my wife? So, and that's hey, that's what COVID took out. People were walking around in bonnets and in their dirty drawers. So, you know,
And all day, every day. So
all day.
that was tough. It
Yeah.
was tough to balance. But we're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to bring all of that to you. We're excited. We just wanted to come on, introduce ourselves, give you a little feel of, like I said, our personalities. That was the whole thing. Just let you know it's going to be nice, fun, a vibe. You're going to get a lot of hidden gems from us that you could use in your relationship, or even if you're single.
Yeah. So I believe that going forward, all of the topics that we pick out, I think they're going to be a lot of fun for people to call in and jump in on the conversation, give their perspective. It doesn't have to necessarily all come from us because everyone's perspective can help everyone who's watching.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to the rest of this podcast and really pontificating with everyone.
Yeah. So check us out on Facebook, the Pontification Room,
That's right.
on Instagram.
The Pontification Room, YouTube
the
at the Pontification Room.
Yeah, check us out. And stay tuned for everything. Follow us. We're gonna announce, when we go live. And we're gonna post our videos for you to comment on. And we just look forward to it. It's gonna be 2021 going into 2022. It's gonna be a great year. I can feel it. We're gonna share this energy, this love that we have for each other, this vibe, this mood,
The
this
vibe.
yeah.
The vibe.
We got to share it. Like it's enough out there. It's time to just everybody,
Yeah.
went through COVID. We're back here. If you're here, be grateful. Let's live it up.
Yeah,
Let's
because
appreciate it.
everyone can have a positive outcome.
Yeah.
You can win. We want everyone to win. There's enough room to win. There might be some bumps in the road, but as long as you stay positive and keep moving towards winning and having a winning attitude, things are a lot brighter. Life is a lot more bearable, and people will gravitate to you. So that's what I want you to see.
And this is our first official recording, like live recording video of us here in the Pontification Room.
Hey, babe, you look great.
You look good too. The lighting's good.
The light
I think I will say this live. I was getting confused on which camera, so I might have been looking over here when we first started, and then now I'm realizing I need to be over here. But hey, that's okay. Like I said, everything has to start somewhere, and we'll get this thing mastered down. But it's been fun.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we'll be back. So you'll see us next Wednesday. Be on the lookout for our videos, and you all have a good night.
Good night.